So what is ProSync? ProSync allows organizations to manage their estimates, or what many refer to in other industries as bids. And it allows organizations to manage the tracking of those bids in NetSuite, whether those bids come via CSV imports or through integrations with other estimate or bid management tools, or simply just using the NetSuite interface to manage those estimates or bids. And so our solution enables organizations to track those from the initial contract estimation to then tracking additional change orders that happen throughout that project lifecycle. And what's unique about our solution is that our data model that we've created allows you to track your cost and revenue inputs at multiple different levels, which I'll demonstrate in a few seconds here. Now, typically what we see once a bid has been approved is the need to then generate a project plan with the various labor activities within that bid. So one of the features that streamlines the estimate to project synchronization is the ability of our solution to generate those project tasks for those service type activities that originate from the original estimate and the corresponding change orders. So then from there, your project managers can then manage resources and assign those resources to those various project tasks that originate from your estimate and those corresponding change orders. Let's now jump into the solution to demonstrate this process. So now this is where really the process begins, is with an estimate or a bid in NetSuite. So you can see I have an original estimate here, estimate 203 for Habitat Agency, the Pacheco Creek Restoration Project. And you can really think of the estimate as an unapproved bid or unapproved budget. And one of the advantages NetSuite has is its ability to import estimates either via CSV or connecting with another estimation tool to bring data in. So Appficiency has built a data model structure where you can track costs at the item level, but also at the work code and at the cost type level. So this allows you to have one scope of work, in this case, work code 9AA, that's tagged to multiple lines and multiple different cost types. And so for example, my work code 9AA has multiple different cost types that include labor, materials, equipment, subcontractor, and any other cost types or cost buckets you want to track. And so this basically allows you to get as granular as you want when building your budget. So if you go as deep as knowing your items when building your estimate, you can. If you don't know the items that make up your estimate, you have the capability of using what we refer to as generic placeholder items, where you still have the ability to associate costs and revenue inputs against those particular items and work codes. So really the takeaway here is the estimate acts as your budget entry point. So think of this as your unapproved budget or unapproved bid. This is important because if you want to look back at after the project is started, you can look back and say, okay, what was my original cost and revenue budget for this project by work code or by cost type or by item, and see where you were profitable and where you weren't. Now, let's take a pause for a second and imagine this project is off the ground and we now need to manage a change order that's in scope. So some additional work needs to be done and I need to track and report on changes that happen throughout the project. With our solution, you also have change order management capabilities. So to demonstrate this, I'll quickly bring up this estimate that I created previously where we're accounting for a change order that happened in the month of October, right? And so you can see this particular change order has been flagged as a change order for the Pacheco Creek restoration, where for this particular project, I'm adding additional scope of work for work code 9CA14, and it's going to be costing us a total of $13,500 with a billable revenue budget of $15,300. So now I'm able to report at both the original estimate level, but also at the change order level as well. And so to demonstrate that out of the box, we have two reports that come with our ProSync solution. One is the work code PDF and the division code PDF, right? And so this is an example of the work code PDF where we're breaking down by work code and by estimate what my original revenue budget was for each work code, and then the corresponding revenue budgets for the change orders or the different estimate versions that happen throughout that project lifecycle. But this is at a very granular work code level. But we also can consolidate that and create parent-child relationships with our different work codes, where you can have a child work code roll up to a work code, in this case, Division 100 and Division 200, and get aggregation of that work code data and have that roll up to the parent level, where now you can see for parent division code 100, I have a total aggregated billable revenue budget of 235,000 and some change. Right? So those are two reports that come out of the box with our solution. The other piece that I wanted to touch on is how our estimates and corresponding change orders can also sync your estimate lines and change order lines to a project and create that project schedule or project plan. So to demonstrate this, we can see that for work code 9AA, we see that a task has been synced and created a corresponding assignment link to Project Pacheco Creek Restoration. So if I switch over to my project, we can see that I have multiple different lines underneath my schedule corresponding to my different work codes and my different labor or service activities within those estimates and change orders. And it differentiates between what is my original estimate, so estimate 203, and which of those labor lines actually are associated to change orders in the system. You'll see it's actually flagged as a change order task. And so from a tracking and reporting perspective, you can report both at the change order task level and also the original budget task level as well. And so to recap what we just walked through, I just wanted to quickly touch on a couple different things that we walked through during that demonstration. And so Appficiency's ProSync solution allows organizations to sync estimate lines to project tasks within NetSuite, where any labor-related estimate lines can generate a project task for the overall project plan. And our ProSync product also allows for change order management, where if you need to differentiate between your original estimate and any corresponding estimates for a project, our solution gives you the ability to track and report on that information. Ultimately, our solution helps with the streamlining of your estimation process to your project management solution and project accounting processes to help you run your business smoother and function at a higher level.